we're teleporting through space. Kids, how you doing? How you doing, Rory?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
I'm loving the background there. That's really kind of...
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it.
Before we started, I was like, let's get a new background. Let's get that going. You know, I can do this. It's not that hard. So, cool. Yeah, the background's cool. Let's switch back over here to this view over here. These are my backgrounds. Oh, okay, cool. They look like that. All right, neat. Okay. We're going to probably come over here again and work over here in this space. I will show you that this is what we did yesterday. We created these different buttons over here that just put up these kind of different dummy kinds of sample questions.
This is your like quick launcher test kind of speak, isn't it?
Right, exactly. Select Chaos Bolt damage here, and we can go select it and click OK, and it gets rid of it. We had a couple different ones, so we could include like things with really long titles, so we could then word wrap them. We also had showed that the bolding was working automatically, so that part was cool. The cool thing about this, we were just taking logic we had already written for describing spells. Essentially in a markup, it was like a markup engine, and we took it and moved it over. Oh, if I bring up two of these, notice it doesn't get rid of the other one. So I guess you could call that a bug, but if I click on OK, it should get rid of all of them. I'm not too worried about... Right, so
you call it up before you actively dismiss it.
Right. And so the other one kind of sticks around, with the exception of the background. But it looks and behaves as we expected it to. It's really, or maybe as envisioned, right? I wanted to be able to put a scroll up, offer some choices.
Yep.
I think I want to, in being here though, I think I want to take the opacity of the title and I want to drop it down to about maybe 90%. I just want to make it like just that change right there. Let me show you one more thing that we did yesterday. I think after you left, it's this one right here. So
that's a little different.
Yeah, it looks a little different. So we got this thing nice and small. And if I hit the this button right, let me get it so you can see it. This button, this little orange ring of fire button right here. If I had that button, it's going to do that. I probably should update the button, but now I can come through and notice at the bottom it says 1 of 3 selected. 2 of 3, 3 of 3, and if I try to select one more, it'll take away the first one it finds that's not the current one.
Okay.
And get rid of that. So that's what's going on there. It limits it based on the number that I say I'm going to put out. So that's what we did yesterday. I mean, you can hear the sound effects working as well.
I like those, yeah.
And I think in general, it matches the style of Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's kind of looking, magic like spell to some degree. It matches. It satisfies the requirements for the UI. I think it's not too bad. There's a little bit, like you could argue that the curves of the scroll are covering up maybe, there may be a little too distracting or something like that, but I'm okay with that because like I say, this is for one person. Well, this is built for like two kinds of users. One person is actually going to interact with it, the Dungeon Master, and the other person is the viewer of the show. And so the viewer of the show just needs to get a sense of what it is. They don't really have to parse it or, understand the whole thing. So I'm okay if I'm okay if the cognitive load for the Dungeon Masters goes up a little bit because the scroll, the corner of the scroll blocks part of the text for a moment.
I would even argue that there's a certain level of authenticity in that if you had a parchment and you had been writing in all the corners and what have you, this would be a slight issue. Yeah. This is kind of in keeping with the theme, the sort of medieval part of that.
Right, well, no, definitely. There's no argument there. I'm definitely with you on that. So yeah, it is. It's as envisioned, which is what I like to be. I like to get to that point. Let's work on the title for just a second. We'll get that title fixed. because that's going to be a quick, fast fix, and then I'll be like, okay, it's perfect. Where's that title drawing? Mr. Smoofy kids!
Hey, Mr. Smoofy.
In the house. Welcome, Mr. Smoofy. How you doing? Title. I'm just going to drop that title. Render title is here.
Yeah, this is in keeping with the idea that the actual choices are more important than the question themselves.
I'm going to say this global alpha is equal to this times 0.9.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll, whatever that alpha is, we're going to be 90% of that alpha on it. Let's see how that works. Do a refresh of the back overlay. Dragging something to the other monitor. I've ordered a new computer, Rory.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not.
Because this one isn't good enough, right?
No, this one I'm going to keep. This new computer is going to be for the kids code show. So, so Campbell can have a machine that's actually fast for coding. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Here we go. Let's test the title. That doesn't, I can barely tell. Of course, I only went down 10%.
That's true. It isn't much different, is it?
Let's try to.
I think you have to strain to see the difference there.
I'm going to do point. Yeah, I don't want to strain. I want it to be like, not as high contrast. So I'm going to drop it to 0.8. Refresh. There we go. So 0.8 is maybe a little too low, I think. I'm going to try 0.85. So 0.85. Isn't this fun? You can see where the code is changing right there. And yeah, here we go. Refresh. Nice. There's the pot of tea. Pouring into the tea. I can just reach out and grab it if I'm fast enough. Oh, man. Lassamat. Welcome, Lassamat.
Welcome, Lassamat. I've not seen that intro before.
Oh, you haven't? It's fun.
No. Yeah. I like that.
Is it raining over there in the UK?
Could you tell? Yeah, just a little bit.
Mr. Smooth says, I've not seen that one. Yeah, it's a cool one. I like it. We're just testing out and looking at, I just drop in the contrast a little bit of the title. What's interesting is the 0.9 I had to strain to see, that 0.85, I can really see it. There's the setting right there. We're multiplying it by 0.85. I'm going to take this to 0.87. I just want to get it kind of perfect.
Ever the perfectionist.
Here's a refresh. There's the refresh. Yeah, that's it. I'm okay with that, I think.
Okay.
I can see it just a little bit. No, you hesitated. Okay, fine. Making it 0.86.
What? Where did you get that from?
No, I heard you just hesitate. You were like, yeah, okay, that would be all right for losers, but a real perfectionist. There we go. That's the difference right there.
I like that.
Do we agree?
Sure.
No, we don't agree. That was a test, and you failed, Rory. Here's the real answer. It's 855. Now we got it. Now I'm feeling better.
See, I've got to respond so quick now that I haven't got time to actively look at it.
What do you think
it's
about
great,
that?
Mark. It's fantastic. It's
Don't
brilliant.
patronize me. We're going to 8557. No. Isn't that weird? Doesn't this look, it looks like it's about, you can't really see it. We're straining again. If I drop it to 8.5, like there, refresh.
I'm going to point out that at this stage, my skill set is probably outside of that which is needed to help with this decision in any way.
Yeah, I know.
Not least of which because of the color vision.
I know. It's just contrast, Roy.
It is interesting, though. It is interesting that when the title contains... Well, first of all, when the titles are very long, the font size goes down anyway, obviously, in order to physically fit. But also when there's bold involved in the font, by contrast, it's a different experience.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Okay. Yeah, what's interesting, though 8.4 isn't quite doing it either. What am I, like, seeing things? I don't understand. Is the 0.8? The 0.8, I thought the 8.5 was too low.
I think the difficulty is you're not being consistent with the test. You're picking a different choice each time.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to stop it right here.
That there looks good to me.
Yeah, it does look good to me too. Yeah. Yeah. Because now what we're doing is we're emphasizing the answers just a little bit.
Exactly.
Right? We've got enough that we can read. And I also like the 0 of 3 selected down there. I said I was going to left align it, which I'm doing. I think I want to switch it. Do I want to switch it? Where do I want to align that? I think I actually want to align it with the left edge of the choices.
Okay.
Because it's really referring to what choices are selected rather than the title, which is way far away from it. I'm going to move that over too. I think that's a change I want to do.
Okay.
Okay, so let's figure that out right there. I'm thinking the same with the choices. Last Met says Kids Code was really fun last Saturday. Last Met was bringing it, by the way, to Kids Code last Saturday. Surly Dad. He's in the house. Look out, man. He's in the house. Oh my God.
See, I missed the Kids Code on Saturday, and my plan was, I know, I'm going to catch up with that at some point, but finding a spare 2 to 3 hours to just slot in anywhere is really quite tricky.
Yeah. Wait, Smoofy, are you saying your sides hurt from laughing about the Lassamats fanfare? Is that what we're talking about? Brand new turned out great.
One.
Yeah,
what was the context on that?
The Lassamat fanfare with the teapot, the pot of tea and the cup of tea that came in. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's what it is.
Alternatively, it's the debating of which scale we should have the title at.
Wait, no. I'm asking.
0.885 and.
Oh, that's what he was laughing about?
Yeah.
The Roy and the changing in the contrast. I'm now finally caught up. I just got it here. Surly Dove says, get the kids to watch with you, Rory. If you got kids who want to teach them programming.
Well, I do have kids. I've tried teaching them programming before. They came to me and said, I'd like to learn how to program. So I was like, okay, we can do that. Here is some programming. And the speed at which they lost interest is stunning.
Really?
I think they decided that it was way too much like hard work.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just think of it's just fun. Check it out.
Yeah, me too. I've been coding since I was around 7 years old, albeit not very well. And it's one of those hobbies that sprung into, I guess a career of sorts.
So I just am noticing here, I guess I got to report an issue. Is this like, I wonder if there's a new version issue here, but I got some anxiety, but I guess also relief knowing that I'm not going to be here in TypeScript for very much longer today. I'm about to get out of here. And as if in synchronous agreement, Pudding says, I want to dump some pudding on this TypeScript. Last man says, Rory, get better kids. The problem isn't you.
The return facility on kids is tricky, and they take so long to get them to a point where they're capable of even deciding whether they want to code or not. This is not a quick development cycle.
I'm gonna get those kids on here as guests on this show. We're gonna be like, I'm gonna slap them into understanding that coding is good and fun. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I did with my kids.
Well, I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Because it is great fun.
No, it is. It's not easy to make kids want to code. I don't know. I always thought it would just everybody. I don't understand why everybody's not running to come do it. But anyway, here's where we're drawing the text here. One of the things I just noticed that I'm a little bit upset about here. Hold on. Message box. Let's try reopening. In fact, what I should have done... Oh, by the way, speaking of proximity, look at this. Recent files, projects and solutions. This UI bug issue has been around Visual Studio forever. I keep thinking they're going to figure it out and pop it up here. But this is my new file and project. Open, this is with files and projects, right?
Yeah,
why isn't the files and projects pieces right up in there?
I've never, ever considered that before, but you are 100% correct.
Oh my God, it's been bugging me for years.
Related features should be close to each other.
Yeah, it's a guideline. Anyway, it's a guideline from the Science of Great UI course. Let's see. Do I have tabbed index reference now? I do not. So we just hit a new version of CodeRush on my machine, and I'm thinking there's a bug. Let's try one more thing now. All right, let's do this. First, I want to document it so everybody can see it. So let's do that. Here we go. All right, kids. Here's the problem. No tabbed index reference, right? Looks like also I've got no structural highlighting pieces inside of here. Do I have templates? Probably have templates. Those are pretty structured. Nope, no templates at all. Oh, and yet it says CodeRush shows up here. I can bring up options. Does the options dialog come up? Uh-oh, it does not. Neither does the about box. So we got a fake menu up here. What's it going on? Let me shut down. Fine, we'll save. I didn't really make any changes there. So at least that's my last save. What's going on over here? Oh no, do we have the same problem? Are you going to kill me, guys? Did something go wrong in this update? Oh, I have an option there to check to make sure CodeRush is loaded. And I looked up the menu and I said, oh, it's loaded. Good. And yeah, stop debugging. This may be a CodeRush free day. We may not be spending some time on this. So
wow.
In anticipation of that, let's see if I got anybody. I may have to download a new version of CodeRush. Let's see if it's. Let me start up one more time and see what happens this time. I'm going to bring up the D&D app. So CodeRush kind of delays loads, so we should still see the menu showing up in a bit anyway. I'm anticipating. So I'm not too worried at this point. There's the menu, okay. But does it work? Nope. Hold on a second. I think I'm going to cancel the show, and I got to get a new version of CodeRush is what I think I have to do. And to do that, I'm going to need to connect to a VPN, and I can't do that while I'm streaming. Otherwise, the stream is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Let me just try one more thing before I... I'm just sending a message out to one of our devs.
I was going to say, could they send you the exe over Skype?
Yeah.
If they're on the VPN.
Yeah, they may be able to do that. I could also switch over, and instead of getting it from our private location, I could maybe find a way to get it from. CodeRush is disabled.
Well, that would account for it not working, but
why
how has
is
that
it
been
disabled?
Yeah,
the question. That's interesting. All right, let's try running it, starting up one more time here. Yeah, the cool thing about the new computer I got, Rory, is you know I built mine, right? So I got the same. Well, I didn't get the same chassis because we didn't have any more, but I got the same motherboard, right? The same processor as well. I got half the RAM, a third of the hard disk space, and a really kind of comparatively not as great video card compared to the one.
I bet it's still a big step up from what you had before,
I don't know,
isn't it?
It's a 2060 is what I bought. It's an RTX 2060. Look at that. That fixed it. Okay, Dev. So apparently CodeRush was disabled. I'm going to say something like, please ignore, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to say actually in here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say issue. TR was disabled, but menu's still there. Whoops. Oh, shoot. a dialogue just came up, and I hit the space bar on the dialogue. So whatever it was, I took the default action as I was typing here.
Great.
Suggestion to the Microsoft Windows team. If I'm in the middle of typing, right, and you can tell because I've just hit a key in the last, less than a second, and you alt-tab me over and give me focus somewhere else, and another key comes in hard and fast, you might want to make it so that if it's a space or something like that, it doesn't actually, close the dialogue that's there.
I'm going to say, was that a UAC style dialogue?
Yes.
Because the stream just went blank behind you in that moment.
It was. I think it was CodeRush's next gen optimization.
Okay.
Because it just installed the new version.
I would have needed some elevation.
That probably is what happened. I started up. Is it because I started up and the new version was out? It downloaded it, but disabled so that we could. I don't know. I'm not sure. It was disabled, but menus were there. Enabling CodeRush and restarting. And restarting fixed it. All right. So put that issue out there. Kids, you know what we're doing here. We're dog fooding CodeRush.
Yep.
Wait, we got some steps here. Step 1, get hired by Microsoft. Step 2, fix that annoying thing. Yeah, step 3, work done and quit. Last Matt, this is not the first time this has occurred to me. To infiltrate a company to fix a bug and then get the F out of there. F means fleeing fast is what that means. This is not the first time I have thought about this.
I can just picture you going undercut, like in disguise. So there'd like be a wig and one of those mustache and glasses kind of thing.
Yeah, before the internet started becoming really persisting itself, there were like forums out there with detailed descriptions of my plan to infiltrate companies through the ventilation ducts. Drop down in during a lunch break, get the code, make some changes quickly, and get out. Smoothie says, that would make for a great TV series, kind of like Undercover Boss. He'd go in with his twerking merkin cosplay.
It's more like Gordon Ramsay going into a kitchen.
Yeah, a little bit. No, that's the other thing. Oh my God. Yes, that makes
Mark Miller's development nightmares.
So when I have a problem with UI and I say something like, God, I'd love to have the team in front of me right now, they make that happen. And then we get the team in front of me and I berate them just like Gordon Ramsay would. And I'm like, what are you thinking? What were you thinking here? Fix this. This is 0.8. It should be 0.855. Come on. Take it to the next level.
Totally a proven formula, right?
Yeah, go increase your detail.
I would totally watch that show.
I actually wanted to do a Science of Good Design series on YouTube where we did kind of crazy things. Like my first show was going to be, I'm sitting in a car and I'm like talking about latency, and I'm like, for example, watch this, and I put it in reverse and I floor it with the camera focused at the rear view camera and how long it takes for the rear view camera to come up. And we have a simultaneous sideways shot of the car reversing with all these baby dolls sitting down and lined up behind it, right? And as each one is hit, just like whatever, graphic effects and a counter. And the question is, how many babies do we hit, right? Fake baby dolls, right? How many dead baby dolls do we create in backing up based on the car? Who's got the best ability to give me that UI quickly? And I wanted to do something really obnoxious and attention grabbing like that, because I think it's important stuff, and nobody's really cluing in that a lot of times the small UI problems can lead to, when multiplied across many, hundreds of thousands of vehicles, for example, can lead to death. Right? So if I got a backup camera and the car allows me to go in reverse and start backing up, and the backup camera doesn't show up, and there's something in there, it doesn't show up for like 2 seconds, that's a problem. So anyway, that's what I was thinking about doing, but I was just like, that's my one great idea. It's going to take some graphic effects. That's going to be my new life if I start doing that. Do I really want to do that? Do I have time?
I really want to see that show.
You do, huh? Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have time now to do it, but yeah, I do kind of like...
Who are the guys who did for a long-running show, and they basically tested scientific theories, or tested...
Mythbusters?
That's it, Mythbusters.
Yeah, I like that.
You'd kind of be a cross between that and Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. And believe me, I have the I have the ability to Gordon Ramsay out on people. I know I present as a very considerate gentleman, but I have the ability to do, what were you thinking? You have no commitment to the project. I have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I may have noticed that in myself as well.
Yeah. Design pattern says you came to fix the bug, but then had to fix everything else. They wouldn't let you leave. This movie says the code is raw. Yeah. Codebusters with Roy and Mark. I almost said Ghostbusters.
That's
Codebusters. I like it.
That's not bad.
Rory, we're gonna do a show, Rory.
We're just gonna rock up to random people and berate them for how crappy their code is.
Yeah, no, I would totally do that. We're outside the offices of Apple. We're gonna talk to them about their color choices, right? Why they're all over the board. Let's see if we can get a developer. Just people are walking in and out, and we do it until we're thrown out of
the only
security
fixes. The poor sales rep on the front who knows nothing about the internals.
I actually would like a series of just cuts and clips of me at famous companies getting carried out by security, screaming about the importance of great design as they're throwing me out again and again. That's the show I want to do right there, kids. Netflix, call me. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make people really understand why design is so important. I could only do it on Netflix because Netflix is like the only streaming service that hits what I would call like above a 95% in just about everything that I can think of in terms of when I say, are they doing this well? Are they doing this really well? Right? For me, doing it well is about a 90% of perfection. And they're easily right in there at about 95% across the board. If
anybody from Netflix is actually listening, please stop playing the trailers just because I happen to pause for half a second to read the text.
Wait. Oh, you don't like that? I love it.
Oh, I find that awful.
It's got to increase
it's not
engagement.
as bad for me as for some others I know who actively avoid any trailers before watching something because they want to save everything, right?
Gotcha.
And if you just go to the next item, you want to read maybe 3 lines of text, and now suddenly you're having to hear or watch the trailer in the background. Yeah. Or at least make it an option that I can turn off, which doesn't seem to be.
I wish Pudding would stop typing in his secret password into the chat room. Okay, we know your password, Pudding. You've been typing it in for weeks now, secretly, gleefully thinking we don't know it's your password. We know it's your password, Pudding.
Yeah.
234-243-423. Come on. I gotta brute force that, by hand. Okay. Are we supposed to be doing something here, Rory? What are we doing?
There's a vague theory behind that, yeah.
Okay, I need to open up another instance of Visual Studio.
Well, we were not... Well, you were trying to use tab to next reference to move to something, and it didn't work.
Yeah, we got that.
And then we realized it's because we hadn't turned it on.
Smoofy's very discreetly in the chat room. He's like, wait, that's my password too. Well, Pudding's one of the characters is out of place. You need to figure out which one. Perfect. This is the kind of challenge I need. What?
Well, is it that it's out of place, or is it just off by 1, or?
Yeah, no, you need.
There's literally isn't Mastermind a game based on almost that exact premise?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Change a thing, you fire an attempt to.
Yeah, it's just one change. Okay, so we are here. Title left. Now title next reference now tab to next reference works for me. Here's where we figure out title left. I want to figure out where we figure out answer left.
That's right. You were trying to position the one of X on left aligned with the choices themselves rather than with the selectors.
I want to see if I got something that says answer left. No. Answer X. How am I figuring it out? Get font size. So this is just calculating it. Add answer. Left. Here's the left. There it is right there. Okay. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to bump this out, and I'm going to call this... we call this answer left. And we're going to come down here and say this dot answer left is that. And then here I'm going to replace this with answer left. All right, let's refresh that. Oh, we got to run this app. Click run there. So interesting. Now I know that if I want to see if Coders is loaded, I really got to go in and look for the markers, the structural highlighting markers.
Mm.
Waiting for that to load up. Okay. Now we're loaded. We got not a number in here. Not here. Here. Answer left is no good. So I basically need something like this. Like that. Is that fair to say? Or maybe... What's going on with last answer? Where am I initializing that? I want to... Oh, look at what I did.
So as you create them, I guess.
Look at me being like, you know, not paying attention at all. This would result in me berating me. Like, what are you doing, Mark? Come on, pay attention. Okay, so that's definitely part of the problem. But add text, where's this being called from? Is this in calculate? No, it's in show. So it's later. So we have to make sure that, yeah, I think I want to do something like this. And I feel like I want to reset this to undefined up here. Yeah, just like that. I want to do that right there. It's weird, undefined isn't giving me a, I thought it was a keyword. Okay, so then I want to go down to the drawing and I want to say, hey, if answer left equals undefined, that's what I want to do. Then we're out. So it's the same kind of thing that's happening up here at the top, right here. Let's get rid of these. Okay, let's refresh. Don't you love it when we're like, something happens and all of a sudden I'm just like psychically, oh, we've got an undefined in here or something like that.
Yep, it's good.
What?
You appear to have lost a title.
What?
Check down the back of the couch.
Yeah, I don't even get that.
That's weird.
There's title left. Hold on a second. Oh, I know. I see the problem. Look, I replaced the wrong one again. I've got to start paying attention. What was Y over here? Whatever it was that I replaced. All right, let's do this. I don't remember what it was. Oh, you know what?
You can right click and is it right click? No, it might not be. You can compare the current file with the unmodified version if you checked everything ahead of time. That'll tell you what was there, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I did check everything, and I'm going to bring it up right now. Let's do that. Come on. Nothing to commit? Come on. Oh, wrong one. Let's go over here. All right. I think we're in message box. What were you? It's answer left. Okay.
No, title top. It is answer left. It was title top. Because you subtract.
Wait.
What that's telling you is that you subtracted the red line and you added the green one.
Title left. It was title top. Yes. Got it. Okay. Kind of take this and do that and change that to top. All right. One more time. This is like kind of like, I feel like I'm coding on drugs a little bit. Doesn't it feel like I'm kind of, you know, floundering around?
I have no idea what that's like so I couldn't tell you.
Confidently, did I do the wrong one again? I'm sorry, guys.
So we've aligned the title instead of
in
the
the wrong
0 of
method.
3.
I'm in the wrong method. It's
We're doing
the
things
one
that
right
are very
above it.
close to what we're trying to.
Yeah, I know.
They're
Here we
related.
go. They're related, but I'm not doing well. We're going to take this and move this up. All right, now, sorry, I just realized you're like, Mark, just let us see the code, please. If you're going to abuse us with all this code that doesn't work. All right, one more time. This, I predict, is going to work. There we go. Grover's coming in. Uh-oh. Hi, Grover. Oh, no, it's Groversaurus, not Grover. He's dangerous.
Surly Fleet is enjoying themselves. How
There we
many
go.
is that now? That looks better.
Yeah, there's my. I'm done. I'm now done, Rory.
Yeah.
I'm calling it done. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, next, let's go. I'm thinking about upgrading these drones. By
I'm
the way,
slightly confused. Surly appears to have one of his fleet named Grovosaurus.
he's doing it in sync.
But don't we have the Grovosaurus clip precisely because there's a person, Grovosaurus, with that username already?
You might be onto something, Rory. I think there is a there's a clue in what you just said.
Huh.
All right, shall I reveal the answer? So I created the Grovosaurus clip, and then that's when Surly confessed he was also Grovosaurus. He came in
Right.
once, and that happened. So we gotta get it. Surly's got 2 clips. Don't tell anyone.
How long has it taken me to figure that out? That's a little poor, really.
You saying it's 4? I thought it was great. I thought it was brilliant. Okay, so we're done over here in TypeScript land. Let's go back over into C# land. This is the code that is launching these different sample questions here. That's what's tied to these 4 buttons down here. I'm just hitting these buttons and it's coming in, just sending out a sample question to it. Let's get this. Let's drop this down a little bit. What I want to do is I want to start working on the response back for this. When we get a response, we come in here. And let me set a breakpoint here and I'll show you what comes up. If we bring in the multiple choice and we come down and we say, like, let's do Miles and Merkin, and we hit OK. We get in here, and in the question answer map, you see that there are 5 answers. And for each answer, there's a name, an index, and a value. So Fred's value is 0, is selected as false.
Yeah.
Miles' value is 1, is selected as true. Lady, right, etc. Okay? So that's what's going on there. Now, so what it does, though, is this line of code says, I am just going to get the first selected index and set it to answer response equal to that. Well, what's going on with that? That is basically a new ask question right here. So while asking question, do await, and then we get the answer response is what's happening. But this is just going to return a single int, is what this is going to return. I'm calling it from only one place. I'm calling it from ask question right here.
Okay.
And I think we want to change this because we've got an answer map up here. Let's take a look at what's happening here. Field answer map goes, looks like this is a field. Yep. And, but it's null right now. Why is it null? Oh, because we haven't gone through this code to get here yet. So let's kind of go through this code to get here. And instead of saying return, await new ask question, do we want to do that? Ask question. Who's calling this? Results.ask question. What's result? What's the type of this? Am I not going to be able to see that? I'm kind of a little bit confused as to why this is valid now. Where am I? Where's my call stack? I'm like, there's something I don't understand that I'd like to understand here. In-game UI response, that's coming in here. Then we're in response received. Then we come right out over here. Oh, I was hovering over the other EA. Now I got it. And it said,
right,
oh, you're a variable called EA. I'll tell you what it is. And I was like, what? But
you've got nested calls, and they're different variables called EA, but when the hover takes place, it doesn't use the context.
Yeah, it doesn't know where it is. Okay.
That, yeah.
I thought it did, and I was like, what? I need to understand this mystery. So we need to kind of transfer over the results of this, I think, is what we need to do. This answer response is not really enough, is what I think. I think we need to go into, now why can't I see it anymore? Why? Oh, there we go. We need to go into, I think, the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to save them. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So what code is currently using the answer response later on? Because it says it's an integer here, and therefore an integer must be being used in that other location. So would an array of integers be suitable? A list of integers?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure yet is the answer to the question. I mean, that's a great last remote answers. I'm just going to save it like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to add code that works with this is what I think we're going to do. Just declare that as a field. Here's our last remote answers. And there we go there. Now I want to go to look at tab to next reference on asking question. Here's the secret right here. This is when we leave. So new ask question is going to return the answer response, whatever it is. So that'll be like the first one. And this also similarly will. Ask function asks question. So here's the result. This, I think, I want to set a breakpoint here. I think the ask event args. I feel like this needs I'm just hitting escape to jump back and then alt shift home to switch to where I was to kind of work my way back. This needs, I think, something. I just wanted to see what this type was here. And then so now I can come in here. I think what I need to do, let's kill this a second. I think I need to answer entries, answer responses. I want to do this. And that's of type answer entry. Is answer entry known down here? It's not. Let's go find it. We can move that. I'm going to take that answer entry and I'm going to drag it down into D&D core. Change its namespace. I love tab the next reference. It's so awesome. Okay, so now I've got my responses. So then what I want to do is I want to kind of assign my responses on the way back. So that other code can then do something with it. Because some code might need to be multiple choice. And that's the code I'm anticipating I'm going to need to accommodate that code at some point in time. Hey, Roy, if my microphone's sticking out like, like I'm an alien, from another planet, just let me know so I'm cool. Okay, I'm trying to be cool here.
We'll try and spot that.
I was
going to say, because it was picking your voice up pretty well, even so. But obviously there's a visual to that as well, which is maybe less than perfect.
And I'm in a continual battle with Karen about whether I'm cool or whether I'm a nerd. She thinks I'm not a nerd. Oh my God. It's like...
Could you be a cool nerd?
She's coming.
Split the difference?
She's coming. Everybody look cool. She's coming.
Everybody look cool.
I'm not a nerd. I told myself I have self-esteem. I bought some at the store.
Oh, well then...
Because I'm not getting it here. Not in this relationship, honey.
Maybe it's you who thinks that nerd is a bad thing. Maybe you should check your own self.
I am not. I'm cool. I'm like the cool kids. I'm the cool kids, man.
Do you know,
what do cool kids do all day? It's what I do. Look at me.
Do you know that I had a very strict policy in high school that I did not date nerds?
Mm-hmm. That's why I waited until you were out of high school.
That backfired.
That would have been illegal.
That would have been illegal. That's also another reason. Good point.
Smart.
Good point.
Good call on your
part.
part.
Good call on my part. Also, I didn't meet you till like 20 years later, I think. Something like that.
That's true, but 20 years before would have been a little sketchy. Okay.
Pretty sure Karen put a picture of you up from back that far ago, just over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, really? Karen, you put pictures of me on the internet? Don't do that, honey.
Which one are they saying? Oh, the old one?
Some old one of me?
Yeah, it's so cute. You're so cute.
You had some more hair.
Your nose is so pointy.
Smoothie's asking, is it story time with Karen?
Yeah, I have a story. What do you want to hear a story about?
Pudding says nerd, all uppercase.
Oh, I have a funny story I have a classic funny story. It's not about Joe and Joanne Magicati, though. It's about, it's a long time ago. I'm like maybe 20 years old. And I go to the beach with
last
friends.
week.
I have two friends there. And we go out.
This is a family show, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
There's nothing crude about this story, but it's
good.
really funny.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm older than that because my friend she's in a doctoral program. So I assume that she is very smart. She's not. So we go swimming in the water and we're like, oh God, you know what I hate? I hate swimming with clothes on because it's like, who does that, right? So we were like, we're just gonna go skinny dipping. And I'm like, what are we gonna do with our bathing suits? She's like, we're gonna put them under a rock. And so I'm like, well, she's a doctoral candidate. Okay. We put them under a rock, we swim around, and then we're like, well, let's go check on those bathing suits. Yeah, of course, it's an ocean. Apparently oceans move. I don't know if you knew this, but oceans move. We cannot find our bathing suits. It is getting cold. We are completely wrinkled. So we're like, ugh. So I'm like, and the beach is crowded. It's not Costa Rica, kids. It's a crowded beach, right? So we're like, we have to tell our friend on the beach, hey, come and bring us towels so that we can get out of this beach, right? So we're like waving to her from the water and she's like, hi guys. And she's waving back.
She's waving back. She doesn't understand the urgency of the wave.
She does not understand the urgency of the wave. So at one point I'm like, okay. And I kind of swim closer to shore and I just stand up and then go back down in the water. And she's like, oh my.
Now I know the problem.
Oh dear.
Now I know why they're waving at me.
So then she comes and she's got like a blanket. She's got like a beach blanket and she's like approaching me, right? And I'm on the bottom of the ocean and I'm like a bottom fish. Like I'm like, and then I go to stand up so that she can wrap the blanket and I can get the blanket and get out of there. But it is completely slippery clay mud sand. And I just go whoop, like ass over, I go way up aside where I should be.
Aside over tea kettle.
And then I'm like covered in the mud and I'm just flopping around on the beach like a big naked fish that is terrifying the small children who have gathered to watch. So that happens. Finally, she doesn't know what to do. So she just, I guess that was actually what I should have done. But she just throws the blanket over me. So now I'm muddy, but I'm covered in a blanket and I finally get up and I just like run to the car and that happens. But my friend who's in the water, the doctoral candidate, decides
to finish her doctoral thesis there in the water.
Thesis right there in the water. No, but she actually is the
Did you say she does her theses right there in the water?
I did say that.
This is a family show.
I said theses.
Theses.
So she goes,
Oh my God.
So she just decides, okay, I'm going to have dignity, right? So she just stands up and walks out wearing nothing but what God gave her and a pair of water shoes.
And dignity.
And dignity.
This is a story about dignity, kids.
It's a story about dignity and how I lost it and never quite recovered it.
That's true. That's true. You've never and remember, kids, think about that when anybody's saying
you never get it back.
that's true. Think about that, kids, whenever anybody starts telling you that Mark Miller isn't cool. Smoofy says that's an awesome story, Karen. He liked it. Okay.
There was code.
What was I doing? Are we here to code, kids, or are we here to tell stories? We're here to write some code. So answer entries. Wait. These are the ones we're about to ask. Old ask question, I think, is not used anymore, right? Not used anymore. I'm going to just comment that out. I tend to have like 3 stages of removing something. This is, you know, the first stage is it's still there, but didn't do anything with it. The second stage is I commented out, and the third stage is I delete the comment.
And even after that, you've got it in source control. It's fine.
Yep. Answer entries. So that comes from build answer map. So I want to say, I'm going to call this built answer map, or built answer entries, built answers. I don't know. I'm playing with pre-built answers is the name for this.
I also like a map is when there's 2 sides. So, okay, you've got an index and a value. I guess that could be argued, but if it's like a dictionary. Yeah. So unless it's a dictionary, it's not usually a map.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, yeah, you're kind of right. So we'll say build answers maybe, then we'll rename this one up here. It's not really a map, I guess, fair, but it functions like a map in that each entry has got values that allow us to map the index order to a value.
Yeah, see, that is the sort of valid excuses. As long as it is an ordered list, in some sense. Well, I say ordered, I mean that there is you can randomly access it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it map. Okay, so we've got build answer map. Got the pre-built answers. They are used. Okay, so on message received is happening when the chat message is coming in.
Yes.
And so we're looking for the pre-built answers to see if there's an index match on it. If we're waiting for an answer to the question, if so, we run it. That's a separate parallel answering mechanism. I'm not worried about that. Is it only used for that? No, well, we're doing this thing here. If there's a next answer specified, the next answer is used here in the Stream Deck. For example, if we go into spells and we say enhance ability, go into level 2, we get this right here. Right there. So it's, let me get that right on screen so you can see it. There it is right there. So when we have this means whatever follows is going to be not a Stream Deck command, but it's going to be an expression that we can evaluate. And so this is an expression with a function called setNextAnswer, and we're specifying bool's strength, and we're giving it to Miles. So Miles now has that ability to answer the question the next time a question is asked. And so what happens is when we cast enhance ability at level 2, like that, then when this is called, this is executed before we actually do this. And so SS stands for like something like set shortcut, select shortcut.
It's kind of like an answer file in an installation.
Yeah.
So you don't have to manually go and answer. You've just got this pre-built.
Exactly. So, yeah.
By the way, your microphone has flown away again.
Oh, that's Karen. That's the visit from Karen. Good job, Roy. I was testing you. So we build the answer map. We go and check to see, hey, is there anything in here? Do we have a selected answer? If we do, we just get out with it. If we don't, we await new asked question. And the new ask question is going to wait until asking question set to true, which, what's going on here?
This is something you just built a few minutes ago.
Answer entry is still here. I got rid of it. Do I need to rebuild it? I think this is a bug in Visual Studio's error detection. I think if we rebuild it, this is going to go away.
You just not got the right namespace in play.
Yeah, I just got to come up here and say D&D core like that. That'll probably fix it. Okay. All right. So so asking question gets set to false here when we receive an in-game response. And it also happens if we get the OK command. Although, this I disagree with. I want to get rid of these 2 lines of code.
Mm-hmm.
These I think are no longer needed. So instead, when we get OK command, we send the OK command to TypeScript, to the TypeScript layer. It says, okay, what's the answer? Closes it down, and then comes back and responds.
Okay.
I'm also thinking about implementing something that is, that goes like this. If we have an option to select something, let me show you something. If I go into enhanceability and I go select only one player. Oh, I'm not running. Let's run this. Let's run this and show you what I'm talking about here. A while back, we created some UI in the main layer that indicated errors.
Yes.
You may remember the big X's or the warning signs that show up over the player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're up and running now. I'm going to go target only Miles, and I'm going to cast Enhance Ability with full strength. But if I do it at this level, at level 2, only one creature I get to effect. So I'm going to change it to level 3, which gives me 2 creatures, and I've only selected 1. And now I'm going to hit Cast Spell. Select more targets is the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that UI is kind of like the warning UI. And I'm thinking about having something similar, select more targets, if we have this scenario, and I've done that, and then I hit OK.
Gotcha.
And so what I'm thinking about is if I'm here and I hit OK, we could say select more targets, and if I hit OK a second time, it'll push through it.
Yes.
It'll do it anyway. It's like a confirm anyway. And the option to do a warning or not would be set by the calling code. So the calling code could say, accept fewer without warning or something like that. Warn if fewer, it'll have a Boolean. We'll set it. If it's set, what's going to happen is the first time the OK comes through, we're going to throw the warning up, but we're going to send a message back saying we have fewer choices than selected. And then the next time we go back out with the OK, we're going to check to see if that flag was set. And if it is, we're going to say force it accept fewer choices anyway. I'm thinking about that change. I haven't made it yet, but I'm thinking about making that change. And, that might be something we look at today. Okay. So I need to see, here's the in-game response received. I need to see where else we're asking this in realistic ways. Where else are we calling this? There's one. And this I have a breakpoint at, so I'm good about that. Break concentration with, that's a simple yes or no. So we're good there. And free to cast. I'm pretty sure this works. We can double check that. Select Chaos Bolt damage. We can double check that. I think that's going to work too. Answer yes. What's answer yes to? Oh, when we get doubles. Okay. So let's do this. Let's start exploiting our syntax highlighting, our kind of markdown that we've got support for here. Oh, because we're running and I made the change. I see. Okay. And that's my answer, yes. And new asked question is target which weapons? Target which weapon? That's a single. Okay. So that's good. Choose ammunition. That's a good one. Okay. Those are all good. Let's try to invoke some of those if we can. I also want to go bring up, I want to bring another player into the mix here. I want to bring a couple different players into the mix. So let's look at those. I want to get rid of, let's get rid of Miles and Lady and bring in Cornelia and Thomasina. And that's saved. Let's go over here, reload all that data. That's going to allow us to kind of test some of these answers. For example, Thomasina has got a, she's got a bow and arrow that allows her to choose from, and she's within the bow and arrow, she's got 2 different kinds of ammunition. So let's see if we can bring that up. So I'm going to choose Frostbow. Nice. Look at that. Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet. So we can take the ice arrow. We haven't seen her yet. Yes, Thomasina was a character for the other show we were doing, but we ended up not doing that. But, all right, that was cool. Let's roll the attack. So Thomasina is not a character that we have right now, but it's just we have data for her. I thought I selected ice arrow, though. That's not an ice arrow. Damage bonus because it's a 20, but...
8 critical hit with 16 piercing damage.
The real question is, what's the real question, Pudding? When Rory is going to be the star of the D&D show? When is Rory going to be a star?
That was pretty left field. I never saw that coming.
I saw it coming. Everybody knows. That's the question on everybody's mind. Okay, there's a problem with the choosing the that wasn't working. Choose ammunition was not working. Let's try it again. Again, Frostbow. All right, here's my ammunition list. Ice arrow is 1. The other one is 2. So I'm expecting a 1 to come back. Run. Wait, we didn't get an answer? Wait. Oh, we didn't get a question just now. I've got an ask question here, and nothing's on screen. What's going on with that? Like I didn't even see that. What's happening? Are we not responsive though? The app's not responsive. Yeah, you can do that.
That works, but that's not quite the same.
We really in here? Where are we? Oh wait, we got to continue. Where's our continue at? Where's our breakpoint? Where is it? Show execution point is what I'm looking for.
I do not see that there. Not in those terms, anyway.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it's like. I'm sure it's here. That's where it should be.
You bring up a call stack and
yeah,
just use the endpoint of that?
There I am in the call stack. Nothing.
Oh, hang on. Wasn't this the? This is.
the
It's
page,
not quite.
the main
paused,
page.
because it's the page.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, I did a break all and says it's whatever. That's what, and I didn't realize I hadn't continue. So yeah, we are here in asking question is what's happening. We're not going to get out of that, are we? If I run, we're just stuck there. Asking question is true. And if I hit
Didn't you remove some code that said asking question is false from the OK branch of a certain switch earlier? There were 2 lines of code you said weren't necessary anymore.
I did. Right in here.
That's it. Now, I don't know if that's...
Yeah, maybe that is it, Rory. But I thought this was going to get us an answer too quick, and I wanted to get the response back. Yeah, it really shouldn't do it here, though.
But if it requires that asking question alters its state before you can move out or past that delay in order to do the evaluation, then we're effectively stuck ourselves. That rain is really coming down.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused about this. This should not be a problem by commenting that out. Because in-game command goes to UI, in-game UI command, then that gets us back to, let's see, where's view all my breakpoints? Right here. I think we got the breakpoint here somewhere. I thought we did. This one, received in-game response. This should come back. I have a theory. I think I know what happened.
Okay.
I think we are, I'm going to stop and restart it. I think we are, we lost our Signal R connection. And that's why when we said, because I'm still trying to figure out why didn't we see the UI come up? So if we lose our Signal R and we get in that await state, right, where we're waiting for a response, but we've lost Signal R, no communication is going to come through. We'll never get out of it.
So maybe in that loop we should make some efforts to, I don't know, ping Signal R and check to see, so we could exit if Signal R dies.
Yeah.
Possibly reinitialize maybe.
I like that. I like that a lot. I can also reset the machine though too. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go to Thomasina again. Let's bring up the Frostbow. And now we're saying choose ammunition. And I want to pick Ice Arrow. I'm expecting the result to be a 1 back here. We've got our, this I'm going to not worry about. Yes, so that, we didn't need to set those. The answer response is coming back. That's all good. Looks like we got 2 of those. It says return answer response is 0. That's not a good answer. Why is that? Get first selected index. I think that's my problem. Hold on a second. Yeah. This is wrong. What I want this to be is, then I want to say, if first index is greater than or equal to 0, what's my options on this? What's it going to come back as? It's going to be coming back as 0. That's not right either. That should be a -1, I think, if it fails to find it. Okay, if it's greater than or equal to 0, then we're going to say answer response is equal to answer map dot answers of first index dot value. That's, I think, my problem. Okay, I may have killed Signal R again. Let's just run and hopefully we haven't killed our Signal R connection. Have we? Looks like we're still good. Okay, so one more time. Crossbow. We want, this time I'm going to say ice arrow again. And now we should have a, we should get a different value for this. There it is. That's what I want. So now return answer response is 1. That's good. Result is greater than 0. Then it's equal to that. Now did we get the ammunition equal to ice arrow? We did.
Yep.
Run it. And did we lose signal R? It looks like we maybe lost signal R. Did we? Let's see. Can I switch over? I can, but why didn't I see the arrow update? There's something else that's not awaiting the result of this, I think. And whatever's not awaiting the result is what puts the loads the arrow up. That's the problem. So if I say OK here, we do not need this anymore. So if I say OK here, sorry, I know this is blocking. Let's do this too, because this dragon is kind of distracting me. Uh-oh, I can't drop down. I can't drop down her dragon without rolling the dice. There we go. Let's just roll the dice. Let's figure out how the arrow loads the...
9 plus 8 hit.
Let's figure out how the...
10 piercing damage.
Hit is too long, I think. Hold on. What's going on in the chat room? What are you guys talking about? Do I need to pay attention to this?
There's some very crazy theories. Pudding is now claiming that he's not one of Surly's bots, but I'm not so sure.
He's not. He's not.
How would we know?
Because he loves pudding.
Maybe. Surly Dev says, wouldn't it be terrible if all the people in the chat room were just me talking amongst my own personalities?
Yeah, I like that. Okay. What am I doing, kids? I was like, we have the ice arrow. I want to figure out what's going on with the ice arrow. So, what is it? Ask question. It wasn't this one. It was the one that called this. It was, let's rename this too. I don't like the name of this anymore. Ask question async. Got it. It's Coding Gorilla, kids. Welcome, Coding Gorilla. Coding Gorilla says, you know, I looked at one of Pudding's VODs, and you never see him on screen.
Suspicious.
Wants to be asking for photo ID. Speaking of Surly Dev, here comes Surly Dev in his car.
See, now I'm even more suspicious. Did Mark just give something away without realizing it? Because he said, here comes Surly Dev in his car.
Yeah. No, I meant Screech Rat. No, it's fine. No.
Yeah, okay.
The thing that's going to blow your mind, though, is when you realize that Surly Dev is actually me on a keyboard I have strapped to my legs that I'm just typing in down below. Pudding says I have no webcam. Yeah.
Me neither.
Oh, I'm running. Let's stop it. Okay, and here's like my third stage of obsolescence. It goes like that. So I've got ask question async, better name, to do send command to populate the in-game UI with answers. We've done that already. We're really good. So Rory, we got a to-do suggestion here. Check to see if, can you give me a test close out there on the
Absolutely, yeah.
Check to see if we've lost signal R.
Indeed.
Signal R.
And at very worst, we want some kind of we can either reconnect or we could just put a warning on the screen like you have done in other situations.
Yeah. Well, I think we got to reconnect or get out or something like that. Something's got to happen.
Yeah.
Bot would say I'm too shy to be on camera.
Latest theory is that I am also one of Surly's bots. In fact, this entire show, its hosts, Fred, all the drones, everyone in the chat room, it's just Surly.
We were going to say
if you're listening to this and you're not Surly, you're probably the only one.
Well, actually, Roy, I was going to say something slightly different. And what I was going to say is that we were actually saving this for season 9, the final season, the final episode. But the twist is, if you think you're not Surly, you actually are Surly. We're all Surly. That's that. And the name of the season is
We are one.
The name of the series is now called Surly. It's the Surly series.
It's the Surly devs.
Okay. Yeah, get out of your comfort zone, Pudding, if you want to. This is the Matrix. Bought you by Surly Dev. Yeah, it's Surly's version of the Matrix. You also don't get a blue-red pill choice. Do you know why? Because the blue pill and the red pill are both Surly. They're both Surly. The pills are
to make
Surly.
you think you've got a choice.
You have no choice. The hand is Surly. The water is Surly. The cup is half full of Surly and another half cup of Surly as well. It's Surly, Surly, Surly.
Vote Surly.
Oh shit! Oh no, she's coming in.
Nerds happening right now.
Nothing's going on
Surly
with
for
nerds.
president.
There's no nerd talk going on in here.
Because I just got itchy behind my ear.
No, we're talking about cool stuff. There's no nerd talk in the house. We're talking about cool stuff like repairing cars.
Really?
We're talking about fixing cars and playing poker.
Really?
That's what we're all gonna do together.
Yeah. Are you gonna lift weights?
We're gonna lift weights. We're gonna fix cars.
Masculinity coming from
We're gonna talk about women and like all that. What's up with them? We're gonna be doing that too.
crazy girl.
We're gonna be talking about crazy women. That's what we're doing.
So funny.
Careful, we're going to start sounding like a patriarchy in a minute.
That's what I'm talking about. We just built the new patriarchy, honey. We got the patriarchy. It's back. Just see if we lose signal R, so we don't infinite loop here. This can happen when debugging at a breakpoint for a long time. It seems. By the way, I love putting the words "it seems" on everything I assert to be true, because it absolutely takes something that you think is like really close to true and makes it always true. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
in other words, in
absolutely.
this moment,
It's a great escape hatch.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm trying to teach my son this too, because he's like, no, it's absolutely this. And I'm like, the more I stick around, the more I am certain that I'm not certain about just about every perception I have, right?
Yeah.
I'm open to the possibility that everything could be Surly, right? This is the non-violent patriarchy meeting. That's right. There's no violence here. We're not into violence. Yeah. Okay. So ask question async. Let's look at this again. Let's trace it back out. Ask question comes in here. It gives us a result. It sticks it in there. Where are we here? Oh, this is ask function. Okay, I've got a breakpoint here. I want to see when this is called. This is coming from the ask function expression.
Okay.
Okay? Which means if we go out to the spell data, I bet we're going to, and we search for the word ask, we might find it.
Yes, that seems plausible.
Let's see if we can find it. Not there. I'm looking for it. Not there. Oh,
I mean, I think
it's
at least
not
Mel
whole
Prometheus
word.
has something like that, right?
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm looking for something. There we go.
Ooh, that's a nice
Dragon's Breath. Okay. So where's my ask question? Here it is right here. Nice. Nice. So we're going to cast Dragon's Breath. That's what we're going to do. Cool. So let's work on that. Let's cast Dragon's Breath. See how that works out. And do I have Dragon's Breath as one of my players? I think I do. Cornelia, please, do you have Dragon's Breath? Nope. I'm gonna add it. I'm just gonna add it to Cornelia here. Pretty sure that's the spell name, the exact spelling of it. Yeah, like that. Let's, I'm gonna hit reload everything on it one more time because I think I typed that in, made that change too late. And where's Dragon's Breath? There it is. Clicking the button. All right, let's cast it. Where are we? We're D&D function. We've got a problem with our arguments coming from select target. Expecting arguments here. I've got 2 arguments here, creature and 1. None of these look right to me. I think shows the example target picture if no creatures are currently selected. I think this is using an old call. I'm going to run it a second here. So I think what's happened is our Dragon's Breath spell. Here, let's close down everything. Can we get that to happen? Did we? Oh, we're at a breakpoint again. Okay, well, at least we got here.
5 damage.
Okay, so at least we got here.
Yeah.
Looks good. If we do poison, that should return I might want to throw a breakpoint here and not there, I think. Okay, kind of unraveling a couple things at once. Somewhere in here I've got a select target in here. Is that true? Give spell to target. I don't see it here.
I don't see a select target, no. And I presume give spell to target kind of expects that we have already done so. But then it is a spell, so by definition...
Here it is. Select target. Creature 1. So what this means is this is... Hold on. Let's go into our editor for this. Click on code. Cornelia's there. There's Dragon's Breath. So we've got this select target here. But this has now changed. Shows the example target picture if no creatures are currently targeted. Was there a different thing? I think I renamed something. Select monster. That's what I changed. The creature kinds. Okay. We want to change that to select monster, not target. And is the second parameter maximum challenge rating for the monster? Sweet. That's what I want. Okay. So now let's try it again. Let's go back over to Thomasina, Dragon's Breath. What? It didn't update it. It didn't reload it. Yeah, because I got to reload it. Okay, that's fair. Hold on. Let's close this down. Let's reload it.
3 damage.
Let's reload it a second. Oh, sorry, I want to do this. Reload everything, I think. I think this is going to reload the spell. And I also have a reload spells button on this page, too. I can reload that spell data in. I think there's a chance that might get this to work without having to restart here. So do this.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, kind of there we go. We get to here, select monster. Okay.
Sure.
Select a creature. But nothing's actually in it. That's weird.
No.
I don't even want to be here anymore. Kind of. Oh, well, let's get that working. let's get that working. I actually want to test one other thing. I want to make sure poison should be like 256 when we came back. I want to make sure that value is like about 256. Yeah, there you go. Cool. So yeah, I love that, right? That you can map a value to an answer and then it comes back. So that part is good. The select monster is not good. Let's go figure out what's going on with select monster. Request select monster. This is where we come in. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay, let's try it again. So I've got breakpoints there. We're going to come in and we're going to say Dragon's Breath again. Roll the damage. What do we got? Okay, so we skip right past there. We're going to bring up the monster picker. All monsters. We got 332. How come? How many monsters we got? We got 0 back from that.
Is that because they don't meet the challenge rating?
Absolutely not. That should not be the case. The creature kind filter is none. I think this might be the problem. Creature kind filter is none, and that's my problem. I'm expecting this to be not none when I come in here. Let's run it so we don't lose signal R, but I want to get back.
Damage.
All right, I want to get back and to see who is calling this, what the prep work is done over there, because that seems to be the problem. I guess we'll set a breakpoint here. We'll fire it one more time. Dragon's Breath, roll damage. So we got 2 arguments. If max challenge rating is there. The creature kind filter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have a problem here. It's creature in quotes. That's part of my problem. It should be just should come out as creature.
I mean, theoretically, you could augment 2 creature kind to look for quotes and get rid of them if need be.
Yeah, I'm kind of
allowing you to do either.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to go. I kind of like that, actually, to be honest.
It allows you to not have to chase round after every instance that might be wrong. Effectively, to recognize an error state that was intended to mean something other than an error state, and to go with that.
Yeah, let's do that. So say creature kind stir equals this dot substir starting at 1. So that'll get rid of that. Or I guess I could just say trim. Probably better. Creature kind is equal to creature kind dot trim of quotes.
And with that, Mark, I'm afraid I've noticed the time.
Okay, buddy.
And I gotta go.
All right, thanks so much.
But I will rejoin you tomorrow at the same time.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
See you later, everyone.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much.
Awesome contribution.
All right. So now we're going to do that. Let's see if that helps us out at all. I may have killed Signal R by spinning at this breakpoint for too long. Okay, this is still coming up. There's nothing in them monsters there. Let's try one more time. Click OK there. And
6 damage.
Where is it? Why don't I say it? Oh, because I've used all my 2nd level spells. Dragon's Breath. Okay. There it is. No, there it's not. I got to get back in here and trace this, figure out what's going on here. It's not. Creature doesn't exist. I think this is supposed to be beast. I think it's supposed to be beast. I think the problem is the code is wrong out here. Select monster, dragon's breath. No, oh, creature could be anyone.
1 damage.
And actually, this is actually, hold on. So interesting. We kind of went on this path. Let me just change this a little bit here. This is actually wrong. I do want to go back to something more like targeting. Let me kind of close this down so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I want to go back to targeting is what I want to do. But before I do, I want to just make sure that we can list off the beasts and the challenge ratings, see what they are, and then I want to move that to the UI below. I just want to test this. So let's do that. Okay. So we'll come back over here. We'll do a reload spells. And I just changed this. Why didn't it update that? Maybe because I need to click it again. It did not update it. I'm going to change it to beast. Like that. If I fire the event, will I get it? Yep. All right. And now let's see what comes up. So this is kind of weird. Why don't I see more in here? I do, I just don't have their names. So see how many? Wow. So here's the problem. I've got a lot of beasts to choose from. I do not have the ability to scroll, and I do not have the ability to filter. We might have to do something. It's weird too that I'm not seeing any names come up in there. So it looks like the selected creature issue code is not working as well as we thought it was. All right, so we'll go back over here. We need to change this back to select target.
4 damage.
Displays the XAML target picker if no creatures are currently selected. What are my parameters? There's none. As far as the event now, close that down. Just change this to select target now. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, okay. This pops up here now. So we can select what the target is for it. All right, I want select target. I want select target to go down to our new UI. I don't want it to use this UI anymore. That's what I want to do. So let's fix that. Let me close the scroll. Let's hide those. Let's roll some dice. Okay.
6 damage.
Okay, so select target. I really feel like I want the code to be more like this. If num targets selected, num targets friendly. I'm just kind of doing the pseudocode here. Num targets friendly. If num friendly targets is not equal to 1, then select target. And maybe I want to change this to select friendly target. No, I want to say num targets friendly. Friendly. That's what I want. That's what I want my pseudocode to go. So if num targets friendly is not equal to 1, then select target friendly. So Dragon's Breath is something you cast on your friends. If you select acid, will it say 6 acid damage? That's a great question, Screech Rat. I'm not sure about that. Let's comment all of this out for a second. And let's fire the event. Not even sure why it ran that right there.
5 damage.
It does not appear to be that that's the case. Let me try one more time. Let's cast it from here. So hit roll. I'm clicking on roll damage. Oh, because we've already cast it. Can I break concentration on that? There we go. Okay. No, it rolls the dice beforehand.
6 damage.
And we kind of need it to roll the dice afterwards. So let's maybe work on, there's a couple things we need to fix. Let's kind of keep some notes here in terms of what we've got to do. We need to roll the dice after Dragon's Breath damage type is selected. And the damage has to be damage has to be of the correct type. What else? I'm going to move this over to my other note file here. Well, we want to make that code correct. That code working is what we want to do. We want to make this work right here. That means we need to create num targets. Function. We need to create the target type function, or enum, which is going to include the word friendly and, you know, enemy. Maybe friend. Let's change it to friend. Num targets friend. Select target friend. Num target friends. Friend enemy. Friendly enemy. Friendly adversary. Yeah, it's like friendly is kind of a description, like an adjective. Adversarial, friendly. I'm going to stay with this. Friendly, adversarial, unknown, I think is what we're looking at. Friendly, adversarial, unknown, maybe all, I think. Right there. So there's the target type that we want to grab. And then we have to implement select target. Async. We need an asynchronous, using the new UI that we have. And it's going to be interesting because we have a lot of targets on screen. We want to be able to make sure we can see all of those. Select async. We need to do that. So let's do num targets function first. I'm going to close this down. And Let's go down to D&D core, inside expressions. I'm just going to grab something simple here. Select this, duplicate it, and we're going to call this, I think it's going to be get num targets. That's what we call it. Okay. And it's going to have no parameters. Oh, no, wait, that's not true. The type of the parameter, we need an enum here. I'll throw it here and we'll move it somewhere else. This is going to be called the target type, I think. And we're going to put in friendly, add, what just happened? I think I hit, okay. Adversarial and kind of maybe neutral instead of unknown. No, I think it's unknown. And then it's all, I think. And let's give numbers for these guys right here. I suppose we might as well throw in a target type of none as well. Oops, this should be a 4. And all is equal to friendly, adversarial, unknown. Okay, comma there. All right, so this is my target type. Let's move type to file. Target type is there. I think I've got a folder for enums. I've got a place where I like to throw all my enums. There it is. Okay, so now I've got target type. I want target type to show up in IntelliSense. Somewhere in here, I've actually got a class with the word enum in it. Uh-oh, we have a problem. Dang it, I was afraid of that. Where's the other one? Okay. All right, so we're gonna make this something else. Target nature. Target status. Let's make it target status. Okay, so now I got target status there. Let's go back to where we were. Parameter 1 is going to be type of target status. Parameters required. Do I have more than one all elements? Yeah. I can't do that. I'm going to make this all targets like that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. That I feel better about. Okay. So it can be one of those options right there, the target status. Let's move this over to its own file. And I think we need an event on this. Where are my targets kept? My targets are kept not in this DLL. So D&D core is this low-level DLL. So we're going to have to make a request, which means we're going to need an event. And we're going to need custom event args for it, I think. So we're going to call this our target count event args. And there's going to be a result property in here, or property of type int called count. And that's all we need right there. Then we're going to let's go put this into its own file. Target count event args. There it is right there. Let's drag it up into my events folder. Is this not open? Huh. Okay. So, and then it scrolls me back down. Well, now it opens now that I've dropped it in. And then that's going to go up there. Okay. All right, so there's my event args are in there. I've got delegates right here. I need to create a new delegate, so I just come in here and hit the letter D. This is going to be target count event handler. And it's going to have a target count event args. That's what it looks like. And we're going to get, let's grab this, copy that to clipboard, then come back over, get num targets, and we will declare the event. It's a target count event handler. We're going to say, call it request target count. Let's create an event trigger for it. This I want it to be static event. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say we got to change the it's the number of targets of the specified type. And expecting arguments 1. We don't need player here. 135 channel points, new record, 100 for 35,000. So args of 0 is going to be the target status. So I'm going to do something like this. Target status is equal to D&D utils dot get target status. And we're going to pass in that. So it's step 1. And I think I've got some methods in here that are already working with, here it is. Got kind of a generic method that'll take care of this for me. like that. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think this might already do trimming. Yeah, it's trimming. It also replaces any empty, any spaces inside with an empty character. Get rid of it removes any empty spaces inside, so that an element name that might have two parts, like sleight of the hand, actually has 3 parts, will be turned into sleight of hand as one word. And then it does a case-insensitive match based on the string to go find it. So there's target status. The other thing we need to do to be able to support IntelliSense code completion inside of our code editor is we need to go find that class that's got the word enum in it. D&D enum value, I think, is the magic key. And we need to come in here, and when it says add enum variables, we got to come in here and throw in our target status piece right there. I'll keep it in alphabetical order. Second place is fine for me, says Pudding. Got to do something with those channel points. Hey, kids, gotta make something fun happening here soon. I know. I'm feeling the pressure. All right, so we've added that. Let's go back. All right, so now we've got the target status. Then we want to go in to what? We want to go say on request target count. And I don't know, maybe I'll throw the player in there. And I'm going to create a new target count event args, like that. Actually, we want to declare this as a local. Like that. When that comes back, ea.count is our answer. That's what we're going to return. Okay, next we've got to handle this method from outside the DLL. So we need to go into our main menu, main window, I mean. Send us stickers. I'm not sure I can do stickers distribution. I need to figure out a remote way to do that, because I'm in Costa Rica and mailing stickers from here is like expensive. It's something like, I think, $20 to $40 for an envelope to get out of here into the States, at least if you want to do it in a trackable way, I think. But yeah, I'll look into that. Let me make a note to myself here. Stickers. Stickers. Remote delivery. Wouldn't it be cool if I found a place that could remotely ship to like loads of places in the world? That would be awesome. I'd be willing to help out mailing stickers for you. Okay, Smoofy. You're in the States, right? It's a pain in the butt. I would never offer that, by the way. Coney Gorilla says $20 to $40. Yeah, when we send in our requests to get our ballots for voting, I think it was about $20 to $40 for each envelope we sent, as I recall. That's what I recall. Now you can send it in other ways, but it's not guaranteed to get there, right? Like they do have a mail system here, kind of. They do have post offices, but Florida. Okay, don't reveal your private details on the stream, Smoofy. Now we know everything about you. All right, so here's my hook events right up in here, exactly kind of where I want to be. I want to go find that function. It's the get num targets function. Get num targets dot on request target count. That's what I want to do, like that. So now I've got this. I'm going to throw a breakpoint there, but I also want to unhook this. I think, do I have an unhook at all? I guess I don't. Well, because they're static. And because this is the main window that's always up. So it's okay. I'm not actually specifically unhooking it. It's not because they're static, especially because they're static, I should unhook them if this was a thing that was going to live and die. But because this lives as long as the app does, and because it's static, I don't need to do that. It's just going to be there no matter what. Okay, so now we've got the request for the target count coming in. That's so funny. You had your bots in mirror mode. Surly. Report it. You better report Surly. We report Surly every day. Every day, Surly gets reported. And every day, Twitch is like, seems like you're overreacting, Mark. Okay, so we want to figure out how many are targeted. We've got two ways of targeting. We've got in-game creatures, as I recall. All in-game creatures. All in-game creatures. Dot. Maybe I want to do this. Get target count. And I want to pass in that EA dot shoot. The filter isn't passed in. Oh. And it's of type target status, right? That guy right there. And we'll call it target status. Now it'll be passed in. We just got to set that. EA dot target status is equal to target status. Like that. Now we're finally using this guy like we want to be. And good. Okay. So now over here, we want to pass in that target status. And we want to implement this. So it's actually going to be like result is equal to that plus, sorry, return that plus, oh no, sorry, not that. I'm not returning anything. It is this dot result. It's like I was right the first time. Count is equal to that. Okay, but then I need to get one more thing here. I need to get the player count of the targets right there. I'm going to set it equal to 0 now, but then I'm going to say, hey, if EA dot target status dot has flag, can I do that? And then I'm going to say target status dot friendly. Then we're going to say player count is equal to get num players targeted. Like that. And so, and then our end result is going to be player count plus that. I love it, Surly. Now you got to deal with me, though, Surly. What are you going to do now? I'm coming in right in there for it. Oh, you son of a... I'm going to get that one. Ah! I didn't get it. Where is it? Come back down over here. I'm just like all over the place. Come on. Get down there. Oh, you took it. Oh. Fine. Fine, Surly. Almost got it. Almost gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit the SWAT button as you flew by? Oh, I'm sorry, Surly. So this is our show now. Just Surly versus Miller. Urgh. Okay, get num players targeted. So we need to create that. Let's create that. And he's back. Get num players targeted. So now we got to say all players, I think. Dot. Let's get active do. Get active. Let's declare that. Then we're going to say do a for each on that. Is that it or no? Wait, it is. It's not that. It is something with the word stats in it. All players' stats. Dot players. That's what I want to do. I want to do that. That's where we're storing the targeted, I think. There it is. Come on. Okay. So there's that. Next, I need to build get target count with target status. Whoops, I need a semicolon down here. Almost done with this function. Declare method. And I want to do this. If we're targeted, and in-game creature dot what is his enemy is ally. We have kind of these two options right here. I'm going to break this down to a new line is what I'm going to do. You know what? I just saw that, Coding Gorilla. Thanks so much. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Coding Gorilla. By the way, really cool template here. Just if I type in like any letter here, any single letter, like I think even if I do P and I do an equals, it'll get me that right there. So then I can just come in and say is targeted, something along those lines. Really cool. Okay. All right. Back over to get target count. This one I don't think is going to be as easy to do with link. So we're basically, if they're targeted, then I need to check to say, hey, if target status dot has flag target status dot friendly, then and in-game creature dot is ally, then we're going to say get target count. So we're gonna have to come in here, count. Come down here, say count plus plus. Else mirror off. If it is adversarial and is an enemy, then there. And I think I'll do one more else. It says, hey, if target has flag, all targets, then I think we're just going to do it straight up. And then we're going to return the count at the end. All right, I think that completes get target count, which is, yeah, get num targets, I mean, rather. So I think we're done with that. We've done this as well, the target type, enum, friendly, adversarial, unknown, and all. By the way, the search for these names I thought was worth it. Even though these are longer than you might otherwise use, you could also use friend and enemy. I think the code reads better if they are the same part of speech. So essentially an adjective, I think at least here and here. So I feel good about that. This is now, I think, all targets. Now we need the select target async. We need to do that. That is, did I add that or not? Select target. I do have the select target function. And we're doing the request. Screwtrap is asking Surly Dev, how did the interview go? So we get to this point here where it says show XAML UI. I think I want to rename this now to show UI. Which means I want to rename this as well. It says it shows that if no creatures are currently targeted, do I want to force that up no matter what? Yeah, I think I want to only force it up if nothing is currently targeted. I think that's what I want to do. Surely Dev's looking for C#, VBNet, SQL Server. Screwtrap's working on web forms. Surely Dev says, I don't have any .NET Core experience. I wouldn't worry about that too much. I think you can probably get that pretty quickly. Yeah. If you do one, you can do the other. Yeah, that's my take on it. Oh, here we go. Surly's answer earlier was pretty good. It was someone pretty good, I think. It was someone I worked with about 10 years ago. Here comes Jetsam. Look out! Jetsam, you be careful.
He's in the house.
I dare you to come back and land that thing. Someday we'll see Jetsam try to make a landing in here. All he does is fly. All he does is fly. Web forms, I'm so sorry, says Jetsam. Yeah, well, yeah, but a lot of companies here after a couple years experience of .NET Core. Interesting. Interesting. Because my guess is that what makes you, the value that you'd have to a company after a couple years of .NET Core is not going to be significant compared to a couple of years of .NET coding experience or many years of .NET coding, right? It's, I don't know. It seems to me that the differences aren't going to take a long time for you to learn. That's my sense. I don't know. I could be wrong. I've been wrong lots of times. Let's rename. Whoops, not that. Rename this to show UI. Screwshot says we're hoping to patch this last piece and then Q4 start moving to Blazor. Cool. Shirley says that's how I see it too. Yeah. So I think what I would do is I would just study .NET Core like crazy so you really strongly understand the differences, and present yourself that way. I'm struggling to think of what the difference in .NET Framework and .NET Core are. I can't even think of any. Well, in the framework, I don't think there are notable pieces at all. I think it's all in the project architecture, is my understanding. That could be, but I could be wrong about that too. Shirley says a lot of companies here seem to have jumped onto .NET Core a lot quicker than they moved to .NET. Interesting. Okay, cool. All right, well, there you go. Study that, baby. Okay, on request select target. So we've got this coming in. And now the final stage here is, instead of choosing select in-games target, that throws this up. I'm going to call this maybe old select in-game targets. And we're going to create a new one that's going to be async. Asynchronous. And it's going to look a lot like ask question async. It's going to be a lot like this, I think. And maybe instead of throwing EA in there, we're going to throw in oh, man. We need to decide, we've got a slight problem here. We need to decide what kind of targets are allowed. Yeah. I think this one's going to be required. I have to change the order of these just in case I've got more than one select target in here. Let's go into the spells here a second and see how many select targets we have. Here's one. So what is this? Cure wounds? I need this. Select target, but I want it to this is going to say friendly. And this show UI is like so weird to me. It's like, don't I want to do this anyway? If no targets are, I kind of feel like show UI, I want it to flat out be true anyway. I'm going to make it optional. And I'm going to set it to true. So there's one select target, friendly. There's the second one there. Where is it here? There it is, select target. No, this says false here. So I'm going to come in here and say all targets, comma false. Is that true? What is the spell? I should check the spell first. It's enhanceability. I disagree with this false being here. I think in every case I want to show the UI. Okay. So there it is right there. Targets equals select target. All targets. Enhanceability. Yeah, you could theoretically do it on anyone. Although maybe should we make the argument it should only be on friendlies? Maybe I'll throw it to friendly. Okay. So with that, I'm going to make this true. I'm going to get rid of my show UI. Param number 1 is going to be the target status. Shows the target selection UI if no creatures are... No. It's going to be the... the kinds of targets we can select. Okay? So now, parameter 1 is now only expecting 1 argument. And then we're going to say target status is equal to get target status of args of 0. That should work. Then we're going to say ea.target status equals target status. Let's go add that. And then we're going to return the EA target, which could be multiples. So on request, select target. Just using tab index reference to get around. There's the async call. We want to say await to it. We want to make this async. And we can do an async void because it's an event handler. So next, this async, we need to set in the target status to it. So this is going to, is this like a single target? This could be multiple targets. We need min and maxes is what we need. We totally do. Wait, this could all turn into ask question async. Because we can kind of figure this all out. We can get our answers on the way in here. And send in the min answers and the max answers. Because we need to get those. We need to know what those counts are on this. So let's go back over here in this code. Enhanceability. Spell ammo count. So I want to pass in the ammo count that's the max amount of targets that we can send in. So I think my second parameter is going to be I need a max answer, a max count, but I'm wondering, do I also need a min count here? do I want to do something like this? Between 1 and ammo count. I think I'm going to do that. Thought I'd change that. Can't move this, can't I move that? Yeah, I guess I can do this so I can see it. Oh, but it's not moving that. Okay, that one's done. Cure wounds. Is max ammo count set here? Ammo count. Cure wounds is 1. Bonus threshold is 1. The healing increases, but it's only for 1 character. Creature you touch. Okay, so it's just 1 here. Select target friendly. That's going to be a 1. 1, 1, like that. And where's my third one? Did I get them all? 1 for enhance ability. 2 for cure wounds. 3 is Dragon's Breath. Yeah, sweet. All right, that's good. So we need to add 2 parameters now to select target. Parameter 2 is going to be an int. It's going to be the min targets. The fewest targets that can be selected. We're going to say it's optional, and it's going to default to 1. And then we need another one in here that's going to be our max targets and the most targets that can be selected. Also, it's going to be optional, like that. I love everybody helping everybody out in the chat room. Yeah, so Surly is asking, hey guys, if I open a solution VS and the references contain yellow triangle over them, any idea how to resolve this? I actually found a Stack Overflow issue on this not too long ago. And I don't remember what the solution is. I want to say it's like close down Visual Studio and bring it back in. But I would try that. I would try unloading the project, reloading the project back up. Hold on a sec. Let me report a code rush issue here. So kids, I've duplicated this line. I've got like this kind of the blue underline here from duplicate line, the green underline rather. I hit enter here though, but it's adding. Look what it's doing. It's not accepting it. And it kind of moves it off over here to the side. How did I get here? I did this, made some changes like this and this. And then I came out here and I changed that. See, look what's happening already. Changed it to optional. Then I went in here, hit enter. And there it kind of is doing it again. So that's what's going on. I'm wondering if it has to do with the text itself here, what exactly that is, but it seems like I can reproduce it. And I just come here again, delete it, come in here, change it, move back, hit enter, and it just does that. All right, that's my issue. After pressing enter. All right. By the way, this thing that's happening here, I really like how well this works for us, right? We're getting, so many issues. We're getting recorded, because we're recording and dog fooding. We're getting so many issues that the devs are looking at with regards to just minor things that would otherwise just go unnoticed, unchecked. Yeah, Coding Gorilla says Surly Dev says to Coding Gorilla, all packages are already installed and there's nothing to restore. Yeah, there's something out there. Not unnoticed, but unreported. Okay. That might be true. Certainly for me, sometimes I'll see some small thing and I'll be like, whatever, I'll work around it and I won't think, oh, let's go look at it. But since it's so easy to report now, right, for the most part, it's pretty easy. It's like, hit a button, type in a little bit of text, explain what's going on. I don't have to do anything else. And my logs go over, the perf logs go over, all this data, including a recording of the problem, and they have the full history of everything leading up to it. So I just like how easy it is, that's all. So yeah, Surly, I feel like I'm confident there's a Stack Overflow solution here, and I just don't remember what it is. I don't remember how I found it. I think it was Visual Studio, warnings, packages not resolved. Is that what it is? Something like that. Warning symbol on packages hoping to see one that I've already clicked on here. Oh, I had the same problem, Surly. Yeah, I had the problem with my own solution as well. Yeah, I do not remember how I fixed it, how I resolved it. Yeah, I'm not sure how to fix that. I'm going to continue working on this. Let me know though if you keep asking questions. We'll pay attention to this. If the project's not set up properly, those are using static references to local packages folders, so it won't see the actual NuGet packages generated by a NuGet restore. Is that something you guys want to talk me through fixing here? I didn't know I had a problem like that. This one, all right, let me focus. I'm going to get this done right here. And I'm going to We're going to get that done. Okay, so now we want to say we can take between 1 and 3. So if args.count is greater than 1, then I'm going to say ea.min targets is equal to expressions dot get int. Oops, I said exceptions. Expressions dot get int args of 0, of 1 rather, and I want to pass in everything else. I'm passing it over here to it because it's going to be maybe looking at the spell, it's going to evaluate that. That might come in as ammo count or something. So my min targets is there. Otherwise, down here, actually right here, I'm going to set, let's just come in here and create those min targets and max targets in here. So min targets here, I'm going to set that equal to 1. And we'll just duplicate this, create the max targets, and also set it to 1 by default on instantiation. So then, now we're going to come down here, and I basically need something like this to get the next one as well. If args.count is greater than 2, then we're going to do that, and this is going to be my max targets. Okay, then we get to onRequested target, which gets over here. Yeah, I've totally seen this. I'm so sorry, Surly. I remember this. I was stuck for a while trying to solve this. This was easily, I feel like 30 to 40 minutes trying to figure this out. Taking a bunch of different steps that I think nothing worked. And then finally they worked, and I don't remember. It was like I said, it was probably about 2 or 3 months ago that I went through those steps. Okay, so now we've got, there's our question. I want to do something that's like get answers, get target answers. I want to create a function called get target answers that's going to take in the current status. And I think it might also throw in ea.max answers, max targets. So that's going to give my target answers, and then I'm going to pass in ea.min targets and ea.max targets. Okay, so next I have to do this. This one's gone. We don't need this anymore. Now, the one thing we need though is at the end of this, we need to set the results ea.target. It's in target. We've kind of got a to-do here that says need this to-do is no longer needed. Need to set ea.target based on answer response, based on last remote answers. So we need to do something there. So I'll set a breakpoint, I suppose, right there. And we'll maybe do that work if we can. Let's create this. And Oh yeah, you're doing a pull request? You want me to check in everything I've done so far? Well, I'm not quite at a compile stage, but I'm almost there. I can totally do that if you want. That's going to make it easier for you guys. And anyway, let me know. Okay, so we can put... So now what we want to do is we want to go through player stats. Is that what it is? Player stats. All player stats. We got a player's property, so we want to do a for each in here. Player stats. And I want to say... Well, let's go see what the target status is first. If the target status is equal to, dot has flag of target status dot friendly, then we can go through all the players. I also need to get, and so then I want to say, if that's the case, if player stats dot is targeted, then I want to say result dot add new answer item, new answer entry. We need the index, which I'm going to say is results dot count. The value, which I think is also going to be, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to make that the player stats dot player ID. Yeah. Then the answer text is going to be, do I have the name there by chance? No, I don't. All right, so then we're going to have to go to all players dot get from ID, passing in player stats dot player ID dot name. Okay, so that's going to add one answer right there. It's going to have the player ID, the player's name. Do I have a first name option in here? I do. First name. Okay. If the player is targeted, we do that. And then we need to check to see if, hey, is our count, if the result.count is greater than or equal to max targets, then we're going to return out of there. We're going to return results. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so that takes care of friendlies. Next, we need to go through our in-game creatures. All in-game creatures. Nope. Dot creatures. So now we want to do the similar code to what we had before, where we say, hold on, wait. There's something else wrong here. No, it's not quite this. It goes like this. So there's a certain number that you can select. And the logic needs to be more like this. It's not that we're returning here, but then we're going to say, if the player's targeted and the number of targets we've essentially selected is less than the max targets, then we can come in to this result that we've just added, and we can say that that result is selected. So let me come in here, and I'm going to create a new local for this. And down here, we're going to say answer dot is selected is equal to true. Okay, that's what's going on there. We're not getting out. All right, so now down here in this second block, so we've gone through all the players. Now we want to then add based on what we're looking for. Maybe we're looking for enemies, maybe we're looking for friendlies, or maybe we don't care. And so down in here, I want to say if target status dot has flag friendly and in-game creature dot is ally, then we want to add an answer. And based on, now we need the in-game creature's creature ID. What is it? I thought we had an ID on here. I've got an index. Let me go tab to index reference on this and see how it's used. Get universal index. This is where we make it negative, I think. Yep. That's what I want. So I can differentiate. So that's its value that we're putting in and giving it a negative number value. And we need its name. Here, I think we might actually be able to get its name right from in-game creature. We have a name. There we go. Cool. And I'm going to change first name up here to maybe full-on name. And then now we need to check to see if we're targeted. In-game creature also is checking it. Has I think a property called is targeted. Good. Then we can set that equal to true. Oh, and it's not result.count. That's the other problem. So I need a variable up here called num selected. And let's rename this to max selected. Like that. So just in case the whole point is in case we have more selected than we need to, than we can support. We are going to trim that down. That's what's happening here. Because that's a very real possibility. Okay. And so now, good. And we can select those answers. Then we're going to return that out. That feels like that's got a shot of working. We still have the breakpoint up there. Let's run it and see what happens. Okay, so let's see here. Dragon's Breath. And I guess I have to roll the damage.
One damage.
Okay. Well, we got to my break point out here. I'm going to keep running it. think I may have a problem that is like a little more advanced than I was thinking. I also realize there's a logic error here. We need to see if it's on screen. We can only choose from the on-screen creatures. So it's not just... This is bizarre. This should have been true for none of them. None of them should be targeted right now. This must have been true. That's the only thing I can figure out in terms of seeing all that. Let me try bringing it up one more time. What is happening? How come I'm not at my breakpoint?
Damage.
Okay. So I'm not getting here? Also, I'm a little worried that both are coming up instead of them kind of coming up sequentially. And I want to solve and make sure that is, you know, good, that we're still good. And I'm worried that maybe two threads are running here. And so I kind of want to get a sense of that. What's going on here? Why? Oh, do I have the problem here? Oh, it's here. I see. Okay. My problem is here. Okay, well, let's do it again. Okay. Nope, not that. I mean, if in-game creature... If it's not on screen, then I want to continue. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. So if it's not on screen, we want to continue. I also realized just now that I kind of need... I need this to kind of be multi-level right here. It's going to be or has flag enemy or whatever is adversarial, and we're an enemy, or has flag all targets. Okay, that's better. And so now we should get fewer entries here showing up. Okay. The damage type.
Or damage.
The damage type is coming from a different place. We're going to kind of figure this out from the call stack, I think. I'm going to run this. I want to stop here, and I want to stop Is it here? I think it's fair to say it's here. And I want to see what my call stacks are for both of those and see how I'm getting essentially to 2 places at once. So let's dispel that and cast it again. Okay, so I'm getting to select target first. And basically from the select target function. And the string, I'm So I'm executing this script right here at this point. Let me hit run. And now we're in here, this space. We haven't returned from the other place yet. Ask question, honest question. Where are we? Let's go look at Dragon's Breath a second. Okay, close.
2 damage.
So it looks like there are 2 events that are being fired. This one on preparation complete and on cast. And I'm getting collision between the 2. And I think it's because of the nature. Hold on, it is specifically, let's look at this. It's in ask, this question here, ask. And it's in select target. I wonder if I can move this to, like, say here on preparing instead. Is that going to give us enough of a break? In other words, does that happen before? Let's see what happens if we try reloading the spells. Now we are select target for sure. Interesting. But we get right back out to not enough targets. Oh, and we get right then back. So behind this, let me show you what's behind this because you can't quite see it. We're right here. So while this is still up, then we come in here, select the damage type. And now we're in trouble. Let me run it, and then the next piece comes up, parts of it go down. It's not built to be able to support
5 damage.
kind of stacking dialogues. I think what's happening is we're getting that weight in the event handler, and when it sees it, it says, okay, I'm going to wait and we'll continue executing in a bit. And then I think it is, you know, I think I got in trouble for saying this incorrectly before. I think I'm about to say it incorrectly again. Hey, this guy, Funks, welcome. I think it's getting a second thread. So we're like at, you know, asking, we've got ask question async. This is the second one that we're waiting for that to come back from. And somehow we're getting to both of these through two different threads that I would normally consider, I'm sorry, we're getting these through two different events that I would normally consider synchronous. We'd call one event, then the next. So it's not entirely clear to me how we're kind of coming back into one, how we're getting out of one while we're waiting for it. It's as if there's a second thread that somehow started, and I don't understand that. Yeah, that's all I got now. I think I want to wrap my head around this a little more. I want to understand it. I want to look at it. Yeah. Doesn't make sense yet. Select target function. Let me just set breakpoints here and here. And over in the ask function, we'll do the same thing. And I think it also makes sense to some degree to look at where these are. Preparation complete. Oh, I switched it over to preparing is what I did. What about I throw it into onValidate? What is onValidate called? Yeah, it's called pretty early on. Activate spell shortcut. Let me switch it to validation. I'm wondering if I can just solve this problem by moving it to a place that's definitely going to be called before. It's returning a target already? Do I have to await this? Is this my problem? It's returning a target, but that target has not been specified yet. I want to fire an event that waits until it's done. Okay, I think this is my problem. I'm returning some value that I don't actually have yet. And now we're in ask. And we do the same thing there. All right, I think that's my problem. I got to figure out how to fix that. Let's see if we can find anything out here. There's a plus equals on async. Do I need to do that or no? No, that's just because I could do. I wonder if I have to say async on it. But I think I do. I think I have done it. Yeah, because it's fire and forget. Okay, Coding Gorilla, let me show you the problem. I feel like I'm close in reading through this, but I'll show you what the problem is. When I go to onAskQuestion, it invokes this event handler. This event handler comes out, gets to here, but it's async, void, which is essentially fire and forget. But I actually need to get that result and use it in the code. So I kind of need this to be synchronous, I think, to some degree. It needs to wait, which means I think maybe the way to solve this is to get rid of async here, call something else from here that's async. Is that going to do it if I'm getting this right? I'm not sure if this is going to solve this right here. I think I've already got an ask question async. Is that true? And I'm wondering if I can call this. passing in EA. You can do the get away or get result trick, but I'm not sure where in the thread chain this is, so it might cause a deadlock. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that necessarily just yet. And this should be, what is result in here, by the way? Is this an int? It's an int, okay. So I'm thinking about making this be return, and I feel like I'm just kind of barely getting this here. T.I, wait, didn't I add something? Oh, it's uppercasing it for me. What's going on here? What's my problem? Dot. What is it? Get a waiter dot get result. I think that might work. I think that might work. And are we in, what's my risk of deadlock? What do I have to do to avoid that, I guess is my question. Let me go back and read what I was reading because I want to see what their approach is to this. You will deadlock. There's not really a way around it. If I'm on the UI thread, this is going to deadlock if called on the UI thread. I think it will not be called on it. It's coming from ask function. Ask function. Could this come in? It could be coming from the UI thread. Let's set a breakpoint here and see what happens. Yeah, so this one is, I'll bring this down here so you can see that. Right about there. So that's where we are here. So here we got the problem with this, that it's simply returning. I want to wait for that one as well. Can I determine the thread right now? How do I find that? Debug, Windows, threads. Is that going to tell me what my active thread is? Main thread. So if I'm in the main thread, that's the UI thread right here. I take it. So I am in the UI thread, which means if we await, we're going to lock up. And now I'm here. Where am I going to go to? I feel like I'm just lost at that point. Yeah, it's the fire and forget nature. Nothing is returned back, and I need to return it is what I need to do. So that's kind of my challenge here. Okay, it's not rolling the dice either for some weird reason. I wonder if it's the other piece. We don't seem to be in that, hitting that. We don't seem to be hitting this function here. Yeah, let's get rid of that guy. Okay, yeah, we need to turn our event handlers into essentially synchronous entities. Oh, this is kind of clever. We're getting the invocation list from the event handler. And then we're doing a win all on all of those tasks. So if there are multiple event handlers, in our case, we only have one, but still useful. And wait till all of those are done. There's my on shutdown. It's just calling wait on that. All right, let's play with this. Let's play with moving this over. And I think we have a shot of getting through this. I'm going to close down the app. And the problem is this is acting like a fire and forget thing, and we need to essentially wait till it's done, is what we need to do. So let's bring the code in here. I'm going to stick with my syntax here. Okay, so we need our target event handler to return a task, is what I think we need to do. It looks like that is what our target event handler needs to look and do. It's only used in that one spot. Okay. We'll get rid of that. This is going to be this type, like that. That's cool. All right, here we go. We need our target event handler down in here. And, well, this is problematic. We need the event args. Let's do this. What's my problem here? Target event handler does not take 2 arguments. You're correct. It does not. There's no sender. Okay. Because it's static. That's why. Okay. That now looks like that is the replacement for this. Okay. So now that I have that, I just call wait on it. Like that is what it's saying it's doing here. So, like that. Then now I think we're going to get it to work like we want to. That's actually super cool. I am hoping that works. So select target. Is there anything else I need to look at inside here? I don't think so. Let's do the same. Let's do the same over for the ask function as well. This is so cool if we get this whole thing to work. This one's going to be this. This apparently does have a sender, but I bet we're not using it. But I got an interesting question for you. Uh-oh, I'm nervous. All right, ask event handler is equal to that. Then we are going to send in sender and EA right there. And that's going to be our ask event handler, not our target event handler. This one's going to be a dot wait. Okay, we're going to return the result. What's my problem here? Oh, right, we've got to go say this is a task as well. Oh, this is going to be so awesome. I think this is going to work really well. I'm really super hopeful about this. All right, go. No, what's my problem? Okay, cool. Almost. I gotta read a number from a program every second. I feel like I'm dealing with a student with an assignment. And then based on the number, it changes the color of one image. Where are you getting the number from? Is somebody pressing a button? Tell me more. I'm intrigued. All right. And I'm kind of confused about a task or a task of int here. I'm not sure. Now I'm confused about how to do this, what the proper syntax is. Coding Gorilla, if you're out there, take a look at this. Number is the power of pedaling? Tell me about that. The pedaling. I need a picture. I need a sense of what's happening here. Okay, so we need to say can I make this task of an int here? I'm wondering. And then my problem here, what's my problem? What am I doing wrong here? Async? Is that okay? It looks like it's okay. It'll take a task of int as event delegates, as far as I know, must be void. No, we're changing that up. Coding Gorilla, I think we're good. So program connects power meter via BT, and it displays that in an app. I don't know what BT is, but there's a lot of kind of, I guess we need a little bit more data on this, Matt. But let me know what BT is, and how exactly do you want to change the color? Bluetooth. Gotcha. Well, so is the question more about how do I change the color of an image? And also, what language are you working in, Matt? Okay, so that is super cool. That's step one. What was the other one? The other one was, there's a problem somewhere in here. Isn't there? There's no problems. Just ask question. Where's the other one? Select target. What are we doing here? Well, we are calling await, but we're not returning. Need to set the target based on the last remote answers. Okay, so we haven't done that yet. And I think that might work. I don't know. Let's see what we got. What language are you working in, Matt? Okay, so I'm on that, running there, and I'm here, hitting run. Okay, that's good. No other breakpoints hit yet. And now can I select? I'm hitting the up and down buttons, but nothing is happening. I'm not actually able to select. So I think I'm at a deadlock with the app. Just to be clear when I say those, I'm hitting these buttons. You can see them right off to the left of the scroll there. These up and down buttons. But we're not getting into. It's because we're in the main thread, isn't it? I think that's because we're in the UI thread. I think my deadlock. I think my deadlock is, I think it's coming from this. I think I'm calling it from the main thread. And I think the wait is going to give me the deadlock there. So I need to get this out tuned to its own thread. I think. Oh my gosh. Seems likely, says Coding Gorilla. I want to know now. Know now, can you roar for me again? Matt says, if you're a cyclist, you got your power zones, easy, medium, hard, sprint. Each power zone got its own power, so I want to have a picture of color. A power zone that's displayed on the screen. Okay, and I still don't know what language you're working in, Matt, on that. But I guess you got a couple different ways of doing it. If you're going to just select a picture, you just change the picture that's going to be displayed, right, based on the data that you're coming in, that you're bringing in. I think what it seems like you might be asking, how do I write the whole program that solves this problem, right? If that's the case, that's kind of a bigger problem. But if you're asking smaller things like how do I get Bluetooth signal data in, or how do I change the picture of an app, those things I think we can look at, individually, but also you can find answers to those out on like Stack Overflow and other places online. I recommend that you get your questions small and focused is what I recommend you do. So how do I do this? So I'm in the UI thread when evaluate is called. I need to get out of the UI thread, wait for this, but essentially pause this execution until we come back. And I don't remember or know enough to be able to say how to solve this problem. I don't think it's enough to do this. And I don't think I can come in here and throw in an async all of a sudden in here. So I can't do that. Somebody's going to object to that. I should verify. I'm using Visual Studio, if you're talking to me. That says I'm working on nothing so far. So no programming language yet. Well, I'd maybe pick your programming language. We're working in C# right now. Where do you want this thing displayed? I guess your first choice is what's my programming language, right? Where do I want to put this? Where is it going to run? Is it a desktop application? Is it running mobile? Is it on a website? I want to verify this is where the lock is. I want to set a breakpoint here and one right afterwards and see if that's what happens. We just go in and never come out. I think that's what we saw before. Although I'm starting to work in VS Code a little bit because we're starting to get CodeRush templates over there. That's a new feature we're working on coming out. I'm going to be actually working on that later today. But just an idea. Okay. It's not hard to do in terms of doing that, Matt. The problem is you want a block there, you just don't want to tie up the thread. Async await does not create a thread for you, so that's something you need to do. Converting from Java to C# says Flight Creations. This Java developer will be able to C#. Cool. So, yes, that's what I need to do. I need to create a thread right here. Let's verify that's the deadlock. So we go in, run. Yeah, we never leave. We never leave. That's our deadlock. Okay. So that's not good. Let's see if we can figure that out. Let me refresh that. Refresh the front as well. And we're totally deadlocked, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, so we need to get a new thread up here. I don't think that I've done this before, where I've created a new thread. So let me see if I can do that, figure out how to do that. Because there's nothing in here that's doing that. Yeah, that's just flat out waiting for it. So C#, create a new thread. To execute a task, I guess. Something like that. So the question in my mind right now is, and I don't even think this is going to work actually, but my question is, do I queue up a thread here, start it up, and wait for it to come back? Or do I do it at kind of a larger, further back level where I'm actually, you know, evaluating scripts based on that? I guess I do it here is what I'm going to do. It's what I'm going to try first. Let's see if we can do this. I need an example though, because like I said, I've never really done this before. Nothing is in recent memory. All right, I'll take it. If Cody Gorilla is going to hand that to me like that. I think this is probably user work item, thread pool. Huh. It's a pretty simple callback. Queue user work item. Let me go look at this up, see what's going on with this. It's interesting. So it's kind of modifying this done event right here inside of it. Okay. All right. All right, so Q, here's the thing though. I've got to wait till this is done. Let's go back over here. This isn't going to be, is this synchronous? This is not a synchronous call, right? Does some work, then sleeps. Main thread exits. So I think I almost need, I feel like I need that task.wait while I'm waiting for that to finish. Something like this, while processing. I don't know. Is this helping me, getting me any closer here? I want to go back over here. What was it? It was like, yeah, I apologize for the kind of searching around here, but I'm just not sure what to do on this. Is it? That's what I'm looking for there. That, await task delay. I can't go there. I feel like I stopped trying to help because the limited amount of help I can offer is via the chat is more confusing than helpful. Yeah. And I think I need to, I'm feeling like too, I feel like I'm optimistic and not clear about exactly what needs to happen. But I feel like I need something along the lines here where we need to kind of just wait for it. We need like almost our own version of wait. Because this is essentially like a fire and a forget as well, which means our EA target's not going to be, we need to wait right here till this is done without blocking the thread. That's what we have to do. And I feel like my hunch is that we're kind of looking at that evaluate async problem again. And it's because I have two questions with this one UI bit. I think I might solve it. Here's the thing. I feel like I can solve it by breaking the questions into two distinct user interface actions instead of having them happening all at once. Oh, but I still no, I have to solve the problem no matter what. I have to get it so that this evaluate call waits until the answer comes back without blocking the main thread. So it's simply not enough to bring getTarget in here and queue it up. I have to still wait for it. And this trick we did before worked in an async method, but this is not an async method. Evaluate. But this works to basically allow the UI thread to continue unblocked, I think. Oh, I'm super confused. I don't know which I have to do. I have to either turn my evaluates all into asynchronous evaluations that I'm awaiting, which I'm not. It doesn't feel right to me. Hold on. Let's see if we can get an example of what's happening in this code, because this code we kind of essentially effectively solved this problem. We have this. That's not what I want to look at. Ask question, task event. Yeah, we would create an async piece. Oh, I think I can fix it like this. I think if I create another async method, oops, I don't want that. I want something down here. Let's try this out. Let's try an async method. And are we going to return a type of this? Not really. Async. Or is it going to be of type target? It's going to be of type target. Right? Let me just double check that this target is the same type. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to return a target. So let me do that. Let's try this. Create a that says, call it get target async. I like that. Okay. And now here, I'm losing it. There's the async piece right there. Yeah, you can Skype me if you want, Coding Gorilla. You can totally do that. Let me know if you want to do that, and we'll set that up. Oh man, yeah, I'm like this. I'm not happy with myself at all right now. I'm actually on the verge of. I feel like I'm not able to hold into my head the pieces that I need to solve this, and I'm thinking, yeah, is it time to end the show? Is what I'm like looking at. I was just looking before how we were doing this before. We have this kind of dispatcher invoke, then we're calling async on it and await into it. That's one way that we were doing it. Is there another way we were doing that? Several answers, none of them particularly simple. What this boils down to is inter-process communication, so you have a fundamentally non-blocking architecture. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking, and I think I need to step away from that. I hate ending like this. I like ending when things are awesome, but I think it's, fair. I've been like, kind of pushing myself here a little bit, and I need to take a break, step away, and I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do today anyway, so let me get on that stuff. I'm going to leave you with that. My apologies, Coding Girl. I'm going to try and get myself a little smarter on this, think about this, spend some time away, get some food. In the meantime, let's send you over to, I'll send you to Bald Bearded Builder. InstaFluff's got 82 folks already. We'll bump up Bald Bearded Builder's number a little bit. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much, kids. Have a good day. Thanks, Coding Gorilla. I appreciate it.